Hello everyone, it's Darkseeker here again. Welcome back for another video. Today we are playing Dane's Shudderwock Shaman deck. Now this is a really interesting take on Shudderwock Shaman. Yes, you've got the Shudderwock, but what battle cries do you have to replicate? Well, there's Armor Vendor. Now, with Armor Vendor, this is going to ensure that you don't fatigue to death, because the Armor Vendor battle cries will get stacked again and again and again as you keep playing the Shudderwock. So yes, you don't die to fatigue, but you're also giving your opponent armor as well. So it can lead to an interesting stalemate kind of situation in the late game where neither of you are fatiguing. But that's okay, because there are some more interesting battle cries in this deck. In particular, Yogg-Saron, Master of Fate. So every time you play the Shudderwock, you're going to be replicating the Yogg battle cry. Very, very unpredictable. Who knows what's going to happen? It can be good for you. It can be very detrimental for you. So that's part of the fun element of this deck. Of course, Serenite Chain Gang, Battle Cry, so you're going to be copying Shudderwocks on the board, Grumble World Shaker Battle Cry, return them back to hand for 1. The order can be an issue there. If the Grumble Battle Cry triggers first and then you get the duplication effects on the board, you're not going to be returning Shudderwocks back to hand. That can be quite frustrating. You need a little bit of luck there. Now, something else I want to quickly touch on before we look at our games is the Spirit of the Frog. This is a really quick way of drawing a large chunk of your deck, i.e. your spells, and then you can thin out your deck, getting to your important battlecry cards, and pulling off those Shudderwock turns quicker than you otherwise would. So big fan of Spirit of the Frog in this deck, for thinning out your deck, drawing lots of cards quickly. Okay, let's have a look at our first game, and it is against a paladin. Paladins are everywhere on the ladder. The ladder is infested with buff paladins, aggressive buff paladins. Now this deck does very well against aggressive opponents because you've got a number of spells here that can help control the board. So you've got Devolving Missiles to begin with. So important against those buffed minions. Right, and very cheap to play as well at 1 cost. We also have Hex, which is reasonable. It's essentially single target removal, right? We only run 1 copy in this deck. I guess that's all you need. If you're running 2 copies of Devolving Missiles, maybe 1 copy of Hex is fine. There's also 2 copies of Devolve. So yeah, we have lots of ways to disrupt opponents that like to buff minions. And 2 copies of Devolved were drawn there from Ancestral Knowledge. What are the odds of that? That's pretty cool. Now our opponent is taking their time. Because we're not doing anything aggressive. They have time to develop. That's good for them. It's also not too bad for me. I'm happy for them to buff their minions, because I'll just evolve them eventually. I'm happy to throw Hex away here on that 4-5. It's not the most threatening minion, but it's still 4 damage. We had 4 mana to play with, so it was essentially a clean way of dealing with it. But charging Horsey, that's painful. That's 5 to my face.
Welcome to the show.
Okay, let's add another 4 damage to the board. I guess this is fine. We can hit the horse. At least, yeah, that's decent, I guess. So, if we could just draw Spirit of the Frog, as we start to get more mana available to us, that would be pretty nice. But the pressure here is still intensifying, and we are nearly dead. This is what this buff aggro paladin can do. could just do insane amounts of damage really quickly. Oh, wow. Depth charge potentially has now allowed me to stabilize. That's amazing. Goodbye to the board. And slowly but surely the paladin is sort of running out of resources, although maybe not with those lions. They're going to draw some more cards. Okay, we're not in the clear just yet. How long can this go on? Probably for a bit longer. We have a ways to go. Having not drawn the frogs, we are having to draw cards from our deck the old-fashioned way, one by one.
May the light grant you peace. May the light grant you peace. Don't worry, loves. The
Okay, charging horsey. Buffed, of course. No respect for the armor vendor.
Break it, you buy it.
So, grumble? Sure. We can get some armor here. Although maybe I should have waited with that. Maybe I should have waited for the following turn, play Murmuring Elemental, and then play the Armor Vendor. To get double the armor. Not that it matters at this point as much. Although the extra 3 armor, I guess, is nice. If we're trying to survive. Oh, 4 armor, sorry. It's 4 armor that Armor Vendor gives. It's not 3. What am I talking about? Lotheb. Interesting. With Rush. Pretty strong. And this board is now looking incredibly scary. We're in a lot of trouble here. Is Devolve going to have to be the play? But this Devolve now costs 7. Ouch. How do we get out of this mess? Healing Rain? Is that enough to even save us here? It's 12? Or is it just Devolve and hope for the best? Oh dear. Okay, we're not dead on board. Taunt Totem is absolutely massive. We've already seen the Paladin use some buff effects in this game, and so maybe we're safe. Oh, another buff effect. But don't have a charger. Please don't have a charging minion, and I think we could steal this. I'm ready to concede, because I could just be dead. I'm not dead. Ha! That's brilliant. Well, that's... I don't know. Is that helpful here? We can't play Yogg. We're still 2 off. Lightning Bloom. Not helpful. So I guess we just heal up. Murmuring Elemental. Not doing anything much here. Debating over whether we play that Murmuring or whether we Hero Power. I guess the Hero Power is just better. Could give us a Taunt Totem. So are we dead here then? Is there something in hand that's going to smash into our face? Please don't kill me. That's fine. I can't charge. Can you imagine if that Crab Rider had charge instead of Rush? Wouldn't that be something? There's the Shudderwock. Now, it's between Yogg and the Shudderwock here. Yogg could save us, or Yogg could do absolutely nothing for us, in which case we would be dead. So I'm going to Shudderwock. Maybe I murmuring first. Do you ever do that? I guess this will gain more armor for us. Okay, here we go. See what happens. We would really like a Shudderwock back to hand. We can play Grumble to make it happen. Oh, that's good. Okay, excellent. Alright, here we go. So, what we can do, with all this armor gain, we're never going to die. So, we can then play Yogg. Get that in the battle cry pool. And we're good. 4 Shudderwocks in hand and they all cost 1. Absolutely beautiful. The paladin has more armor than us. 40 armor. Wow. And the game could just go on and on and on and on with lots of armor gain on both sides, and you kind of get a stalemate, maybe? Okay. It's time for a priest.
10,000 years, and still you annoy me.
So the question to ask is this Reno priest or is it big priest? What would I rather face? We have devolving missiles, we have Hex in this deck, devolve. We are better equipped to deal with Big Priest. With Reno Priest, we have a little bit of healing. And if we can draw through our deck quickly enough with Spirit of the Frog, maybe we can get to a Shudderwock turn before Anduin kills us. And maybe we just gain tons of armor and the Anduin hero power never gets there. It's that stalemate situation that I referred to before. You both gain tons of armor. And fatigue doesn't kill either of you. I guess it then comes down to a board battle based on the minions that are on the board. And if you can replicate Shudderwocks on the board and just keep a few of them on board, I guess you can go face with that. And then there's the X factor of Yogg-Saron's battle cry to see what that does. But the outcome with this deck is very much unpredictable once you get to the Shudderwock turn. You just don't know what's going to happen with the Yogg battle cry, and you don't know whether you'll get Shudderwocks back to hand. So there is unpredictability for sure. And that makes this deck really fun. Other Shudderwock decks that I've played, courtesy of Boltzmann, they have a win condition. And the win condition is that you kill your opponent via the Shudderwock, right? And the Shudderwock does useful things like putting out a Lothar battle cry that blocks enemy spells from being played. There may be a Life Drinker battle cry, a Reno battle cry, so you're healed up. The Life Drinker battle cry, of course, will kill your opponent eventually. This deck does not have Life Drinker. This deck does not have Lothar. This deck just seems to rely entirely on Yogg-Saron to do some kind of lethal-based work for you, maybe. Anyway. Our opponent clearly did not appreciate the frog. We've drawn some spells. We're happy. And now I'm just playing stuff because I want to empty out my hand. Keeping in mind I have card draw in hand. Now, this is Big Priest, and I'm going to take immense pleasure in messing with their board. That's fine. It's got 3 attack. I don't care about the health. But I guess we kill it? But let's use the frog. Lot of card draw here, potentially. 2 from this. 1 from the frog. Huh. Lava Shock is sweet. And we have now drawn through, I think, most of our deck. This is pretty amazing for turn 7. Meanwhile, the big priest is still pondering how to get a minion to stick to this board. At this rate, we'll draw our entire deck, we'll play the Shudderwock, and they won't have got anything on the board. Oh wow, the frog still lives. That's hilarious. And there's the overcommittal to kill the frog. Little do they know, the frog's done its job. Really got nothing else that I want from it in terms of draw. So I do love it when opponents overcommit to kill something that's of no value to you anymore. Alright, another scrapyard. That's absolutely fine. Can deal with that. We have Hex. Hello, Geppetto. Nice to see you. Maybe you're a little bit late to the party. I've not drawn my armor vendors yet. That's bizarre. Anyway, who needs armor vendors? Who needs the Shudderwock? This board is going to kill our opponent. Do we have lethal here? I think we're 1 off. Lava Shock is 1 off, yeah. But do I even want to kill my opponent here? Honestly, I want to play the Shudderwock. So do we just want to prolong this game a little bit longer?
It is finished.
No, we're not allowed to prolong this game because our opponent has conceded. Out of embarrassment. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Okay, joining this next game in progress, it's another priest. So, we're in a interesting position here where we have the Shudderwock in hand. We have Yogg ready to go shortly. I just love how our opponent is just committing these spells to clear these tiny minions. That's wonderful. And I'm kind of just sitting on this hand here. Yogg will soon be ready after formal spells, but I just am sitting tight. Nothing to do. A lot of these are reactive spells. We'll need our opponent to play something, to do something in order to use them. Okay, that's nice. So I guess the Hex is absolutely fine. They can start resurrecting frogs. We absolutely love it. And we're just chilling. Just chilling.
Free of that blasted tower.
Targeting a Vargoth with something. Behold! Behold into Vargoth. Well, goodbye, Vargoth. Or Vargoths. Oh dear. Ruining our fun. We could have brought out the Yogg with the Lightning Bloom. Oh dear, oh dear. Okay, next game is against my least favourite class at the moment. We're going up against a mage. So the mages that I'm facing at the moment are Secrets mages and Flamewaker mages. Right? They discount spells, they get those Sorcerer's Apprentices down, and they just kill you really, really quickly. There's also Mizaki Mage too.
Job's done.
That kills you fast as well. But with the Flamewaker variant, I can sometimes find myself dying on turn 5 or turn 6. And we are a very slow deck, right? So I say we're very slow. We're very slow if we don't get the Spirit of the Frog. If we get the Spirit of the Frog, we're less slow, because we can still draw through a chunk of our deck quite quickly, but we're not as speedy as a Flamewaker Mage, right? We're still not as speedy as them. So I'm going to have to assume that we are heavily unfavoured in this matchup, despite the healing. Look at this, resource gathering here is really, really scary. Yogg-Saron, you're too early to the party. How long can this go on, says the Saronite chain gang. Probably not very long for us. Probably going to be dead soon. Encounters flow. Yikes. Wow, did not even hero power. They are that confident that they're going to win this game. They thought, we don't even need to hero power. They're clearly so impressed with their hand that they're thinking, yep, we've got this. We've got this. Next turn, go off with the Flamewaker and we'll just win. Is this the turn? Is this the beginning of the end for us? No? Still want to discover? Okay. Hitting my face. Not respecting the Thalnos. Why would they respect the Thalnos? I guess they don't want to give me a card. It's smart to not target it. And again to the face. Ouch. I want to draw a card here. That's useless. We are chipping away at our opponent's face.
The future is...
Oh, look, it's Luna. The cheap version, the impersonator of Vargoth.
Behold the tools.
Beholding the tools of creation. Yes, this Vargoth impersonator
Behold the tools.
doing a poor Behold impression, I reckon. Interesting, we're not dead. Huh, that's great. And on that basis, I think it is possible for us to stabilize. If they've committed this Flamewaker thinking I can't remove it, and if that's what they are hinging their strategy on, they're going to be disappointed massively. I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing here. All I know is I need to remove the Flamewaker and the Luna. And I've done that. Okay. What else you got? Show me a second flamewaker then. Oh, no, I didn't actually mean for you to show me your second flamewaker. I just... Oh, dear. I will need to learn to keep my mouth shut. Can we kill that? We can kill that. Thank goodness for being overloaded. And there we go. Pretty sweet win. We actually beat a Flamewaker mage. Nice. Okay, our last game is against another mage. What is it about mages? First of all, it was lots of paladins on the ladder, and now that's translated into lots of mages. Paladins, I'm happy to deal with. We've got the devolves, the devolving missiles, the hex. We can deal with buffed up minions. Mage is more unpredictable, and if it's Flamewaker Mage, they have those 1 or 2 big turns where they burst you down, and it's just very difficult to withstand those turns with this deck, even with the healing that we have. However, Mad Scientist would potentially suggest that this is Secrets Mage, a traditional Secrets Mage. Now, that I'm kind of okay with. Secrets Mages do lots of damage, but it is spread out over multiple turns. There's a mixture of spell pressure and minion pressure. But maybe we can cope with that, with both of our healing rains in hand, but Incanters flow. Ugh. Okay, this is not a normal Secrets Mage then. We want to test for counterspell, so we'll use the coin. No, it's not counterspell. That's good. Farsighted to Farsight, of course. Oh, Geppetto. That's really good. 5 cost Geppetto. Drawing us 2 minions from our deck, I think is fantastic value.
If power is what you
Oh, wow.
knowledge is what I provide.
That is a Polkelt. This is definitely not a Secrets Mage. This is more than likely then, what, a Reno Mage? Perhaps a Luna's Pocket Galaxy Mage, LPG Mage. These are not the targets that we want from Geppetto. I was hoping for something more expensive to get drawn, like Grumble or Yogg. Yeah, that's frustrating. Maybe we could combo Murmuring Elemental with the Armor Vendor. And Reno confirmed. Or Reno Mage confirmed. Okay. I'm feeling slightly threatened by this board. That's 10 damage.
Armor! Lightly used armor.
Okay. Devolving Missiles is interesting. Alternatively, Landslide clears a Scientist? But maybe Missiles is just better. Oh, wow! That's huge. Depth charge, absolutely huge. That's just bought me more time. Unbelievable. And now that has put me on a clock. Luna's Pocket Galaxy, wow. We go from buying time to being short of time. Because now they're going to be able to play their minions for much cheaper cost. Perhaps putting us under a lot more pressure And so we need to just draw through our deck now as quickly as possible. We have the Shudderwock in hand. Now they are a Reno mage. Would they play something like Dirty Rat, for instance? If they play Dirty Rat, right now we would be absolutely screwed, because the Shudderwock is the only minion in our hand.
What once was cloudy.
Right, that's card draw. Interesting. How do we respond to this? It's 5 damage, 5 attack on board. I guess we just continue drawing cards, right? Through the frog. We need to test for this secret. Is it counterspell? It's not counterspell. That's good to know. More card draw. Beautiful. There's Yogg. And he's ready. Primed and ready to go. I think we can just hold here then. 9 cards in hand. That's fine. We need to find an opportunity now to play Yogg. We still need Grumble and the Chain Gang though.
Unity, precision, perfection.
Ziliax.
What makes something...
Jandis. Oh. Interesting.
Double pump
Oh
action.
my
Just start
goodness.
with
Talk about value. Okay. So they got another Jandis.
Stunning.
That's not good news for us. So I guess they'll play one of those minions.
Works against me.
Play a minion ping. Yeah? Okay. No ping. Can't afford to ping. That's good. Well, it doesn't really make much of a difference here. Although I could trade into the Ziliax. And then that activates, or helps our AoE. Okay, so not pinging was actually quite pertinent. Kill the poison? Or should I have killed the barista? Because it represents more attack. Do we really care about poison here? Are we more concerned about 4 attack over 3 attack? I see you, says Lothar, but oh goodness, here comes the barista. Sorry, here comes the Chandis. Still thinking about the barista there. Interesting. I guess with the lower Theb, they feel pretty confident, thinking that my spells are blocked out and this board is going to stick. But I have Yogg. So, what's Yogg going to do for us today? Is he going to clear this board? Is he going to be good to us? Okay, now this could go either way. Oh my goodness, puzzle box. That's a start. That's okay. That's minions. Pressure. Healing doesn't do anything for us. The healing still doesn't do anything for us. Okay, that's cards. Buff the wrong minion. Sure. Okay. That's decent. Not sure about that. But that clears a board, nearly. Ah, if only it had targeted the minion there. Oh, we're still going. Still going. Sure. Okay. Well then. Our hand is full. But Tomb Warden is pretty sweet. Okay, it targets the minion, that's annoying. But the snake trap's okay, I guess. Oh, Kazaka's potion. Not sure how I feel about that. Draw 2 cards, wow. Okay. And these snakes, they're golden snakes. Just look at the animation. It's really nice. So we need to start getting ourselves ready for the Shudderwock turn.
I require a target.
I kind of like Conjurer's Calling here on one of those. That's okay, I guess. It's better stats than what we had. Hopefully this contests their board somewhat. What kind of AoE does LPG Mage run? Flame Strike? Blizzard? Oh, Rolling Fireball. Okay, just asked our question. Wow, look at that Fireball roll. It took down so many minions. But I guess the question is, do they have more AoE? So are we having to think about a Flame Strike? Are we having to think about a Blizzard on a future turn? We hex the biggest minion. There's still a reasonable amount of damage on that board though. So we're going to do our best to minimize that board. I just want the Grumble battle cry in play. Because I am really desperate to get this Shudderwock on the board. The Tomb Warden is going to be really good for us. It's just a replication effect, right, on the board. And that's going to help the Shudderwock a bit later down the line. Our opponent, though, is really thinking things through. Do they know what's coming? They must know what's coming. They've seen Grumble. And they've got to be thinking about the Shudderwock. They've seen Yogg, so they know that I'm playing a memey, fun deck. Very unpredictable. Who knows what's going to happen? Echo of Medivh. Wow. Just wow. Now that's a useful pickup. Alright. Bit more preparation there for our Shudderwock, getting that battle cry in play. That's fine. Those minions have done their job. They've put their battle cries into the pool. Is it time? It's time. Armor. Replication. Yogg. Where do we go with Yogg? Is Yogg going to be good to us? Okay, spells that cost 0. Not sure how I feel about that, because our hand is full. Okay, that's it. So, I want the Shudderwocks back. That's really important. Always Huffer. With Valen's Chosen. That's brilliant. And now we chill. Sure. Just admiring the animation there on that secret. It's pretty cool.
Impressive.
So, do we just win from here? Do we just win from here? No, we don't. Zephyrus will give them the perfect answer. What is the perfect answer here? Is it Twisting Nether? Secret? Sure. Devolving Missiles. Hits the Shudderwock, of course. Oh! But that's an upgrade.
Thought I had more time.
That is an upgrade. We devolved into something better. Fantastic.
Who knows what secrets will unfold?
Okay.
Gonna be rich.
Gonna be rich. Sure. And gonna be rich. Back to hand twice. Potion of Illusion. Everything back to hand. So there's 3 Renos. There's a Zephyrus, a Bran, a Zola. That's hard to keep track of, to be honest. All we've got to remember is they have a lot of healing in their hand. Ooh, we got a secret. Mirror entity. Interesting. Okay, here we go again. What will Yogg do for us? Ooh.
Dungeon reeks of magic.
Interesting. Armor. Armor. Replication. Grumble. Okay, we get Shudderwock back to hand. That's good. More replication. So far so good. This is looking nice for us. I'm curious about Lynessa though. Each spell that you cast on your minions. Oh, Bran is nice. Bran and Shudderwock. I'll take that. But there's the second Zephyrus. Now they get 2 cards. That's annoying. But what solution are they wishing for here? Twisting Nether? Yep, Twisting Nether. So that means there's another Twisting Nether in the hand, right? Because they got 2 cards because of Bran. Our hand is pretty full here. I need to dump some cards from my hand. Let's start with the book.
I want to cast a spell.
I'll just dump that, I think. Happy not to play a Shudderwock here. I could have hero powered actually and then played the spell. But the rationale from that last turn was just to get 2 cards played. Make room in my hand. Because I need room in my hand for when I play the Shudderwocks and get Shudderwocks back to hand. I need space.
Curses.
Yeah, okay. Let me just go for this. Okay, Shudderwock back to hand. Replication, nice. Armor, nice. Okay, spin the wheel with Yogg. Praise Yogg. All hail Yogg. Worship Yogg. Yogg, be nice to us, please. Okay. A bit underwhelming, but I'll take it. Do we just go off again? I guess we do. Interesting. Do it again. Gosh, this is really interesting. Keep spinning this wheel. And again. I'm still waiting for this pyroblast lethal to happen. This is brilliant. Absolutely loving this. Although, we do really need to try and get more Shudderwocks back to hand. Gosh, that keeps happening, where it devours the other minions and gains the attack and health. Look at all this armour, though. What do we get this time? Oh, rush minions! Whose rush minions are better? See, that's always a point of contention. If your opponent gets better rush minions, then you're really sad. They're going face. That means it is time for Twisting Nether, number 2. But now we know that both Twisting Nethers are done. Okay, let's try and empty the hand a bit. That's decent. I can't play the sandwich. Polymorph. Oh. So, Lonessa does what? Oh, God. Wait. I should have thought about that. Does that mean that when I play the Shudderwock, it's going to cast Forbidden Flame on itself? Okay, that's got that out of my hand. We're happy about that. Because we don't want to play that from hand. Because we don't want our spells to cost more. So we just trade stuff here, right? Oh dear, no, that's wrong order. I should have attacked with the sheep. Because now we can't play that from hand, can we? So it's going to be stuck in our hand. It's going to take up space. I could have replayed the sheep, though. Oh. Oh, dear, oh, dear. Okay, free up the hand a bit more. Heal. Why not? It's useful. Okay. This game is still going on. What's the win condition then? Is the win condition we keep playing the Shudderwock until we get the Yogg Pyroblast effect? Is that how we win the game? Alright, here we go. Spinning the wheel with Yogg. One more time. Praise Yogg. And Yogg gives us something useless. Of course. Why would he give us something good here? Oh my gosh. I'd forgotten about Conjurer's Calling. Huh. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Oh, by the way, we don't have any more Shudderwocks in our hand. That's concerning. Because how do we win now? We are out of cards. How do we win this game? How can we return a Shudderwock back to hand? Can we return a Shudderwock back to hand? I don't think we can. There's nothing we can generate from either of those spells. From any of those spells that will allow us to do that. So I suspect that we're in a bit of trouble now. It all depends on what our opponent has left. That's useless. That's good information. We know that they have armor vendors. But this hand is really not doing anything for me now. Devolves could be useful if they play any big threats.
What would make us rich?
And this is still a lot of pressure, but in my head I'm just thinking it's going to get dealt with. It's going to get removed. There's AoE. If there's no AoE though, this could just be enough pressure to win the game.
If I could just cast that.
We know about them returning Reno Jackson to hand, right? So we know they've got healing in hand, but if there are no spells to remove these high attack minions, Reno doesn't really matter.
Thought I had more time.
If we could still keep this board in play. And surely you just don't pass the turn like that.
I've got you.
I mean,
Snickers.
wouldn't you just play a tempo Reno? Because we know there's more than one copy of Reno in that hand. Come on, there has to be an answer in that hand to this board, surely.
Armor! Armor! Lightly used armor!
That's not an answer. Interesting. Oh, and nothing. Okay, they don't want to kill the taunt totem. I guess they don't want me playing more stuff from hand. Little do they know I don't really have minions I can play here.
I've got you.
It felt right to make one trade. Don't ask me why, but it felt right. Just removing a little bit of attack from the board. Overflow. Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness. They're just dead. They didn't get an opportunity to play those Renos that they had got back to hand. Wow. And 254 XP there. That's a long game. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Dane's a Shudderwock Shaman deck with Yogg-Saron, Master of Fate. I was winning games with this deck on the ladder. I was ranking up with this deck. And that to me is quite unbelievable. I am a little bit shocked by that. We have a positive win rate with this deck. It is 5 wins and 4 losses. I will take that. I will absolutely take that. That is over a 50% win rate with what is a fun meme style deck that doesn't always have a clear win condition, because Yogg-Saron can just be very unpredictable, and yet I have a positive win rate with this deck, which is unbelievable. But a massive thank you to Dane for the deck. It is an incredible amount of fun. It really is. I was talking to Boltzmann about this deck on Twitter, and you know, I mentioned that this deck is probably not good for the ladder because of the unpredictability. But this deck is not just fun, it's good at causing chaos, right? Those repeated Shudderwock plays with the Yogg battlecry, because that's the battlecry you're really after, right? That's the important one. Those repeated Yogg spinning the wheel battlecries it just causes absolute chaos. And that's entertaining, and that is fun, right? And to me, that's Hearthstone. If you enjoy this style of play in limited doses, which I do. Okay, thank you very much for joining me, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you all again very soon for more Wild Mode fun. But until next time, please look after yourselves, please take care of yourselves, and please be good to one another.